Sustainability is the new buzzword in farming. I suppose we all have to play our part. We're doing here to be sustainable in the future is trying to replace, maybe put a figure on it, a fifth of chemical nitrogen with slurry spread by low emission equipment to satisfy that box. With 5 children, things are always busy, so the number of cows, I could carry 80 cows and they might do the same as 64 cows. So I'd rather carry 64 cows and have 4 lines and no extras and have those 64 cows producing the 530 kilos of milk solids rather than the 80 cows doing the 400, 420. It just makes more economical sense to me. So in August, generally, we find that it makes more sense for us to sell the cows that are going calving later in the following spring, because they can still achieve a good price and I can keep more grass into the cows that are left over in the herd. So if we ended up selling 6 or 7 cows that were going calving later because I have enough through compactness, then that's the time of the year they go out so that I can keep the grass in the diet for longer in the fall of the year. The one handy thing about Pasturebase is that on this farm, Pasturebase analyses the paddocks for me and tells me the ones that are underperforming, the ones that I should aspire to have more of. I sit down at the end of every year and do that with the cows. You have top performing cows that might produce 680 kilos of milk solids. You have low performing cows that might produce 380 kilos of milk solids. So to me, the important thing is to get rid of the lowest 10%. It mightn't necessarily happen in any one given year. I do not sell bad stock to pass it on to someone else. I don't like to do that. It might take it that the cow might be fertile enough to stay in the herd for the next couple of years, but either way, she's not going to be bred to dairy AI. She will get a beef straw. If I can bring up the average production of the herd, then I reckon that is going to be a more sustainable herd in the future. In my mind's eye, genotyping can help me do this. I don't necessarily go by the highest EBI figure. I think if I'd done that, I'm not sure what kind of a herd I'd actually end up with, because there is an awful lot of components to EBI. One of the big things is milking speed, but the other thing is your components. Like, if you can look at it and fine tune your heifer calf and pick out the best 15 that you have, then if they're going to be off of your best cows, then you can make a very sustainable herd in the future. This year we had 42 heifer calves, so 15 out of 42, top of the pops. Hopefully in 2 years' time, they will be better than our best cows now, or somewhere near it. So on this farm, everything that is reseeded gets clover included in the mix. All the paperwork will tell us that it's going to reduce our nitrogen use, which is going to make us more efficient in the future. 2 years ago, in the peak grazing season, we tried out where we spread 2/3 of the rate of nitrogen on some of the clover paddocks, and we actually achieved the same level of growth as some of the rest of the farm. We will be using clover in the future. If science is anything to go by, we should all benefit from it. The one challenge that I would find with clover is that possibly the sward is a little bit more open and possibly more prone to poaching, but this year we're going to overseed one of those paddocks to see if it will make a difference, just to make it a little bit denser, so that at the start of the year when we want to go grazing a paddock that has a lot of clover in it, that maybe there might be more density in the grass sward